Now we're looking at one chapter of the I guess it's called a controlling graph or whatever report centered on the war, you know what I'm saying, on farmers. You know what I'm saying? Why are we threatening farmers when everybody's talking about good food, good produce, and good health? You know what I'm saying? And the American people is not speaking up based on that. So that tells me we have a lot of suicidal individuals living in our country who goes along with the deep state. Many of these niggers and actors and rappers and different movie stars and different people are in this shit. And this goes out to Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving was one of the he showed a true example of a true warrior in the game. I don't know whether he was talked into taking the shot or not, but the fact that Kyrie Irving stood up and showed the world that he's not going to be. Because what would one person like Kyrie Irving make a difference in a pandemical situation that you say is the most deadliest virus in the whole wide world? Kyrie Irving wouldn't have spread it to everybody else. So why you focus only on Kyrie Irving when he said no is the question that we must ask. But this goes out to Kyrie Irving. Great job standing up as a black man and being strong in the game. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at it, he's arguing that the billionaire, you know what I'm saying, like Billy not got Gates, Baphomet worshiping jackass, you know what I'm saying, are secretly working to monopolize the country's future food supply. Imagine that. And you don't see nothing wrong with that is the question that we must ask. The chapter also alleged that Billy the Baphomet worshiping goat case sucking blood bitch, seeks to control the intellectual properties of food production. Imagine that. Not only is he fucking with our medical field and feeding you poisonous shit to depopulate your ass, you know what I'm saying, talking about he created these so-called medicines and so forth on, you know what I'm saying, the takeover of the food system like so many other control schemes in his book, beginning with the Rockefellers. Oh, there it is. That's not an American name either. So don't think that the Rockefellers are Americans. They're not. You know what I'm saying? And they are the Rockefellers are guilty of many atrocities against the United States people, based on even controlling the money, the banking system, and many other things. Look up David Rockefeller and you know what I'm saying that agreement on the island. I don't know if it was what island it was that they went over there and made an agreement while they were supposed to be on vacation in the government. They over there making deals and shit. We have a Luciferian entity within our government that must be removed, and the only way it's going to be removed is the American people has got to stand up. You know what I'm saying? And talking about Rockefeller and was advanced by Bill Gates, Burner Road, you know what I'm saying? Which he is right, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? We have to start looking at this shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, even when we look at Devin Wiley, whatever his name is, that sparks COVID-19, vaccine conspiracy theory. This is coming in by Newsweek 90. You know what I mean? By Billy Shrub Dunn on the 11/16/2023 at 6:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, this is the late edition, but we see the death of a former American professional football player. This has a lot to do with Bill Gates as well, you know what I'm saying, with his creepy ass. You know what I'm saying? Along with creepy Joe Biden and the rest of their deep state Baphomet worshiping, eating people, sucking blood, and pedophilia, raping of little children. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand this. You know what I'm saying? You need to dig deep and find out more about what's going on in our world rather than to be an idiot and a lamb led right to the slaughter, lining up to do something that you know was wrong. And then you try to facilitate that on the people who were healthy, saying that they were the ones spreading the virus and so forth on. When they weren't the one dying, it is you. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where the football player, I think it's Wiley, you know what I'm saying, WYLIE, at just 35 years old, from as yet 35 years old, from as yet unknown causes. He died from unknown causes. You know what I'm saying? No, he did not. He died from what they did to him, you know what I'm saying, or talked him into doing, you know what I'm saying, has sparked conspiracy theory online that it was due to the COVID 19 vaccine. You know what I'm saying? This is by Newsweek 90. Wally was a former NFL wide receiver who played for Kansas City Chiefs and Tennessee Titans before pursuing a musical career. His death has reignited the claim from vaccine skeptics who, without evidence, have linked the case of other athletes or former athletes who passed away at a relatively young age. Such claims fuel he talk about fuel the vaccine hesitancy during the COVID-19. No, it did not. People make their own decisions. He didn't fuel any hesitancy. And the people who say that this happened because of this did not fuel any hesitancy. The people have a right to make up their mind, and the people have to stop letting the government speak for you. The government have no right to speak for you other than doing the work that they're supposed to be doing to keep you in the greatest health, the greatest economical status, and the greatest country as a free state, in having the loyalty to the people, not the people to them. You know what I'm saying? And the COVID-19 pandemic, he's trying to say, through the vaccine skeptics, say they are raising public health concerns. What concern did you raise? That is the question. According to the New York Post, and multiple other outlets, has family announced his death early this week. You know what I'm saying? In Louise, there are no words to express the sadness. Of course, there are no words to express the shit that they have done to us. You know what I'm saying? We see Mike Liddell, you know what I'm saying, chairs judges historic ruling, you know what I'm saying, vindications, you know what I'm saying, by Newsweek 90 again, coming in by Catherine Fong, you know what I'm saying, on 11/17/23 at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These people are facilitating and coming into our country and doing a bunch of garbage, and it's manipulating our government and our government officials and movie stars and actors and Hollywood and everyone else is involved in this nonsense. We see, you know what I'm saying, Mike Liddell is celebrating a weak ruling on Georgia voting machines and vindication countering, you know, critics who say he was a conspiracy theorist for promoting claims of election fraud. Historical ruling by the judge, Liddell wrote on X, formerly Twitter, which is, that other idiot. On Thursday, anyone questioning elections or election machines are conspiracy theorists. No, they are not. They're not conspiracy theorists if we're questioning the fact of you having a legitimate vote that speaks for the people's words and the people's vote as a whole. We must start to look at things from a better light. You know what I'm saying? We see the U.S. judge, you know what I'm saying, Amy Totenberg, you know what I'm saying, issued a 130 35-page ruling last Friday, in a long in the long running lawsuit seeking to rid Georgia of its election voting machines, and they need to, in favor of hand-marked paper ballots. You know what I'm saying? The lawsuit, filed by individual voters and election security advocate groups, you know what I'm saying, the Coalition for Good Government, argued that the machine's cybersecurity flaws violates the constitutional rights of voters to cast their vote and have those voters actually count. That's what they did. This is how creep Joe Biden was able to cheat. And you know what I'm saying? So we have a huge problem that the American people are going to have to face based on making a proper decision and having a proper vote. This is why many of the black civil rights leaders are talking about voting rights and changing the voting rights and changing this, because they knew when they pulled this pandemical bullshit and the people realize the amount of shit that's going on with Ukraine, Israel, say Africa, and all over the planet, the nastiness and garbage that they're doing, people begin to realize, and they know it would come to a head. So this is why they want to be able to control your mind. In the footnotes of the ruling, we see Tutenberg, you know what I'm saying, said that the evidence in the case does not suggest that the plaintiff are conspiracy theorists of any variety. You know what I'm saying? In itself. We see Trump announce explosive evidence. Mary Trump call herself giving explosive evidence, you know what I'm saying, to take down Trump. You know what I'm saying? Mary Trump ain't no more than a deep state, a Luciferian worshiper, and fighting against the truth. You know what I'm saying? But we see Mary Trump, you know what I'm saying, his estranged niece, bloodsucker probably, sorry to say it, Trump, you know what I'm saying, niece of Trump, the great Trump, you know what I'm saying, had legal experts weigh in on Friday on a news release audio of the president. Fuck your farmer. He's the president who called it explosive evidence for a criminal case against him. You know what I'm saying? In Washington D.C. You know what I'm saying? We see this going on. You know, as a part of the Department of Justice, the DOJ, not a criminal organization, appointed criminal people in there and doing criminal shit rather than doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Special Counsel Jack the Nut Gut fucking Baphomet worshiping Smith, you know what I'm saying, investigation. He didn't do an investigation. You don't do an investigation that way by accusing everybody of being a hesitancy or a part of facilitating a virus that they don't have. You know what I'm saying? Investigation into the U.S. Capitol riots on January 6, 2021, Baphomet 6, you know what I'm saying? 6 feet deep, 6 feet apart, you know what I'm saying? Trump, who is a front runner in the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, was indicted. No, he was criminally indicted by criminals. You know what I'm saying? Accused of a criminal action that is not true in itself. You know what I'm saying? In August, Washington, D.C., in a relation to the alleged attempt to overturn, he did not overturn a fucking thing, because if he had overturned it, he would be the president right now. You jackass. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even going to get into none of that, because when we see what's going on in itself, we know for well what it is. You know what I'm saying? The American people has got to come to grips with the fact of understanding that this must stop. You know what I'm saying? How long is you going to continue to carry on this way? You know what I'm saying? As if you did. Same thing we saw during the pandemic. You had many people, you know what I'm saying, was out there screaming, oh, my father died and this died. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You're the ones bigger than us sick. And the people didn't have nothing. Now the people who got something from the vaccines and different things are the ones getting sick and dying, to where Biden now is saying that they didn't even have to take it. Now, if you don't see something wrong with that in itself, then what the fuck is you thinking, bro? How the fuck can you sit here and hear this man making these type of words out of his mouth and you still giving him any type of support is beyond me. He just played you for a fucking fool. You know what I'm saying? One time he's telling you that he's going to lock down the city, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and all this different shit. And then when we turn around and look, he's saying now that you didn't have to do it. So what the fuck was the lockdown? And Kathy Hochul and Como are guilty of even facilitating Biden's criminal shit against the American people, and then sitting up there acting as if, because she was the one even said, if you guys don't take it, you know what I'm saying, I'm be forced to lock you down again. Kathy Hansel is a goody two-shoes jackass, and that's point blank. You need to remove her fucking ass from office. Do not vote for her again. And her winning that office, or whatever you call yourself doing, rather than put Lee Zeldin or somebody with some sense in there, you facilitate right along with the demon democratical bullshit. Many niggas are guilty of this as well. You have supported the Democratic Party all the way through these many years that have destroyed, murdered, killed black people across the planet and many other people across the planet in itself. And you're still sitting up here telling me that you're going to support this jackass rather than find a candidate and put in there that have some fucking sense that can level out what we're seeing here on our planet. You are still facilitating the garbage down the line, and you want the rest of us to follow your dumb ass. But you know what? Nobody's going to do that anymore. We must now start to look at the truth for the matter of what it is. We cannot no longer keep living a lie. So this is Point Blank saying, stay right, stay tight, and we gonna stay in the motherfucking fight. One.